Okay guys, here's an uncut, unclipped, raw version of exactly everything that happened the day that that video was created. It was released a couple days, maybe like a week or two even after. But I'm basically just gonna jump right in and cut to the bull. So, it was late February. Let me give a little bit of background before that. I think that would help kind of lead this situation into light. Basically, I was Sophie's roommate first. They moved me in when I was in a bad situation living in Hollywood, and I basically moved in with them as a roommate. She had a boyfriend of 4 years. His name is James. Basically within the first week of me living there, she had convinced me that James is abusive, that he was hitting her, that he was, manipulating her and using her and all this crazy stuff. And honestly, I never had really seen any of it. I kind of just followed her path and followed her lead, and I wanted to play the hero and save this girl. She made herself look so innocent and so, just vulnerable. And I felt really, really bad for her. And I'm not a homewrecker. I don't like being that guy. And my intentions weren't to, end up in a relationship with her. It kind of just happened that way. I mean, you're living with someone and you help them get out of a toxic relationship, they're going to lean towards you. But the thing is I don't think that he was ever more abusive than she was abusive to him. And I'm only learning that now as the time has gone on. And I started to pick that up kind of later on in our relationship. So, she basically kicked out her relationship of 4 years and just kicked him to the curb, sent him on his way, and I'm a huge factor of that, and I owe James a huge apology because I should never have invaded your personal life and your personal home. I should have just found somewhere else to live, but I saw that as an opportunity to find somewhere stable to live, and I took it, and that was really f***ed up of me, and I'm sorry that I did that to you, James, because honestly, you guys could handle each other for the most part. I mean, I don't know. I don't really know what all went behind those closed doors, but basically I was wrong for intervening in your guys' relationship. I should have just let you guys figure it out and none of this would have happened. It's fucked up to me, and I never really thought of it at the time. And we were all doing drugs. We were all just on Xanax, and I've always been really open with my drug addiction. I'm sober now. I'm actively just working to be a better person. But it really clouded my mind, and I've definitely done a lot of things that I'm not proud of under the influence of drugs and alcohol, and that's just something that I need to look for. I need to look for red flags. And if she could dispose of a 4-year relationship she was in where she moved from New York to California with this guy and she could just kick him to the curb, that's a pretty big red flag. I should have saw that coming pretty fast too. Anyways, so it was late February. We had already been kind of having problems starting in early December of 2019, and things were just kind of rapidly going downhill. It wasn't anything too serious. It wasn't really bad fights. There was a couple times out of nowhere she would just kind of blow up at me, and it was kind of confusing to me. And so I started kind of watching her behavior, and I started picking up on things that wasn't so appropriate for someone to be doing in a relationship with someone else, in a monogamous relationship. It just, what she was doing was not okay. If you had seen my story, for the people who were following me and actively looking at my stories, I was kind of promoting the fact that I was drinking Heineken 00 for a lot of January and February. Obviously I was having some slip-ups. It's hard to be in a relationship with another alcoholic who is constantly drinking, not working for sobriety, and you're the only one in the relationship who actually wants to be sober. So I obviously made a couple mistakes there. And the thing is though, is that Sophie never wanted anything to do with sobriety, and I was always kind of pushing towards it. So she started feeling like she had to hide the alcohol from me, so she would go off drinking, go off doing all this stuff, and then lie to my face. And I could just alcohol is such a distinctive smell, and she's only 34 pounds, and it's one White Claw could get this girl tipsy, even though she would wake up in the morning and start drinking by 8 a.m. nothing in a relationship can go good if you're waking up and drinking right away in the morning. Alcohol is just kind of known to provoke bad incidences and make people do things that they wouldn't normally do. I'm a perfect example of that. So I also was like kind of getting skeptical about her loyalty to me, and so I did some low shit and I kind of started snooping. That's, you know, and I felt a little crazy for it. But then all my actions got justified when I found out she was talking to dudes behind my back and not being faithful to me and not being loyal. And that really, really upset me and hurt me because I had never really dealt with something like that before. I didn't know how to handle that situation properly. So late February, when I found all this stuff out, I actually have text proof. I can probably pop it up somewhere right here. That same day that she took that video, I was trying to move out. I was telling her, hey, like, I don't think this is working. I was still sober that day. Like, I was still, like, I hadn't drank. And she was at school or something, and I was like, hey, like, this is not working for me. Like, this is not healthy. And she's like, blah, 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 what do you mean? Okay, fuck you, I don't care. Like, I don't care what you have to say. I don't care how you feel about this situation. And that struck me even harder, because I thought if I caught her red-handed, maybe that would, like, give her, you know, some sort of like eye-opening awakening, and she might be able to like fix her behavior. And obviously I still like felt emotions towards her, and basically like I got upset. We got in a really big argument and she went off drinking. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go off drinking too. So I went down like Long Beach and I just kind of strolled like Long Beach Ave and ended up going to the beach. I had some buzz balls. I slammed like 3 buzz balls back to back. Just wanted to get up. Super stupid decision. I drank some White Claws on the way home. Whatever. And I get home. I said, hey, I don't want to talk. I was inebriated. And I went to sleep. I slept on the couch. Okay? And the next thing you know, I get slapped awake. Like, she slaps me out of nowhere. This isn't the first time she's been physical with me. She slaps me out of nowhere and wakes me up and shakes me and is like telling me to get the out of the house. I was like blackout drunk at that point. I barely really remember all of the incidences that like led to the point of this, but something that she didn't explain was that she didn't call the cops. The neighbors called the cops on both of us for fighting. If you look at that video that she posted, it is clipped in the front and it is clipped in the back. She later posted a second half of the video while she was high on Xanax that pretty much debunked the whole thing just to delete 20 minutes later. And I wish I got a screen recording of it. A couple other people did and they sent it to me. But for it wasn't audio. There was no audio, so I didn't feel like I could really share it. But basically in that second half of the video, I'm calm. I was like, hey, like, I'm gonna go talk to the cops, like, whatever, we're all good. There was no blood. She was not injured. She did not get hurt. She made all of this up, okay? I don't know what the time frame of how things escalated and when she pulled out her phone and all that stuff, but I remember being like, I hear the cops. They're obviously here for us. I just broke some shit. It was really, really, really childish of me to go off drinking and then lose control of my actions. But if your head is spinning and you get slapped in the face and you're woken up and you're just like, what the is going on? And you're already like emotionally distraught and under the influence of alcohol, I can't say that like I'm surprised from my actions. Obviously, it's not okay. And I should not have done that. I shouldn't have broke things. I shouldn't have lashed out in an aggressive way. That's completely on me, and I'm in control of my own actions. Even though I wasn't really at the time, I am responsible is the correct word for that. And I feel really, really bad, especially like shout out to my cats. I'm so sorry for breaking your cat tree. That, I f***ed up there. That was really, really rude of me. And it's just, it's all sorts of f***ed up. There was no blood. There was nothing. She was not hurt, okay? Here's some text proof. Actually, I'm gonna full screen this one. Of a statement that her friend made about me, okay? Like, this was one of Sophie's best friends of 4 years. I knew her as one of her best friends while we were dating. They always made plans to see each other. I never got to meet her. But she had her own experiences living with Sophie, and then Sophie talks about this to her and basically clears my name. And that's why I've been silent for this long, is because I knew that if I waited, she would dig her own grave, because that's the type of person she is. She can't hold friendships or relationships longer than, a couple months, because people start to see her true colors and they realize how shitty of a person and a friend she is. She's really only in it for herself, and she'll do anything for attention. She's so insecure with herself that she will go out of her way to hurt other people just to get her daily dose of attention. It's absolutely sickening, and I can't believe that I ever gave my emotions to this person, because they had me totally misled at the beginning of the relationship. And I just want to put this out there, that at the beginning of the relationship, she was sober at one point with me, and she was actually really cool. Like, she was a good person. And even like the people around me, like my mom has met her, and she was mostly sober when my mom met her. We both liked her. We both thought that she was a good soul. She doesn't want to be sober. I don't know the reason. Her parents are willing to send her to rehab and all this stuff, and she'll go to rehab and then get out and relapse the same day. I don't know what it is with her that she feels the need that she needs to be high all the time. I'm an addict myself. I've been to rehab a couple times, and I know how psychologically addiction works, and it helps me, like having an understanding helps me cope with the urges that I have. And I know that I'm not the person that I want to be when I'm using drugs, even though my body tells me that that's what feels good, that's what I like. That's not the person that I want to be. I don't want to be a drug addict. For some reason, this person is okay with the literal label of a drug addict. So the cops arrest me, and I was really confused why I got arrested. They put my hands behind my back. They told me to get in the cop car, whatever. And I was fine, I didn't go. I was there in the holding cell for 3 nights. They didn't give me a hearing. They literally just came and said, "Nick, get out of here. You're good to go." Gave me my stuff back. I never got my shoelaces back, which kind of sucked. But regardless, I literally was totally fine. Lucky enough, I had left my phone upstairs, so I didn't know her number by heart, but I was able to call my phone, and she came and got me. The same day she came and got me, we had already made plans prior to go to Big Bear to go snowboarding. We went snowboarding, and the weekend was fine. We had a nice little cabin in the snow, and it was fine. In jail, I'd kind of been like, I don't really know where I'm gonna go after this. I know that I can't be with this person. I know I can't continue my relationship or whatever, and basically I didn't know how to go about handling this, because I knew that she had recorded this thing. So while we're on the way back from Big Bear, we kind of get in a little dispute, because I was saying hey, I don't really want to be with you anymore, okay? And she goes, "Okay, well, if you leave me, I'll put that video out there and tell everybody that you hit me." And I'm like, what the f*** is your problem? Why would you do that to me? That's gonna literally ruin my life. And she slapped me in the face, and I literally opened the door of the car, and she stopped, and I got out, and I was like, what the f*** are you doing? Why are you doing this? If you slap me and the cops come, it doesn't matter. I'm going back to jail. She goes, "That's fine. That's not my problem." And I'm like, what is going on, okay? So I text my current roommate who's in San Diego, and I was like, "Hey dude, do you have an open room?" Lucky enough, he just had his old roommate, who's in the room I'm in now, move out. So basically, he's like, "Hey, I can come up and get you." He came up and got me, and we went to P.F. Chang's while Charlotte was out drinking or whatever, and I was just kind of distraught. I was super confused. I didn't really know what to do. And he's like, "Why don't you just move in with me and we'll figure it out?" So I said, "Okay." So I text her, "Hey, I'm gonna just grab some of my stuff, and I'm gonna go down to San Diego and check out this room and see if this is a healthy fit for me." And it's been the best fit for me that I could ever imagine. My roommate to this day has been the best roommate, and I really I love this guy. And I'm super grateful that he was there to help me out when all this went down, because I don't think that I would be in the same position that I was today without him. He put some of my stuff in his car, and we just drove down to San Diego, and I texted her, "Hey, I'm so sorry, I care about you, but this is something that I can't do anymore." And she goes, "Okay, that's fine." She didn't say anything about releasing this video. We were actually really okay. So something that she says, she kicked me out, she made me leave, she made me get this U-Haul. No. I came back the next day. I had fixed the damages prior. I sent her money. I sent her a couple $100s to fix everything. And there was like an app where you can hire like handymen, and I hired a handyman to go fix the sink. Then we fixed the window, and we fixed like everything I had broken. I had fixed my damages that I had done. She didn't admit to that either. She didn't admit that I was actively trying to make amends for the things that I did wrong. I don't blame her. She's trying to destroy me. She's not going to say anything good about me. But that's the things you guys don't get to hear when I'm voiceless and I can't defend myself. So I get a U-Haul and we drive up there, and I put, with me and 2 other buddies, put my stuff all in this U-Haul, and I say like, oh, sorry, I actually forgot something. So the day that bleep out his name, the first time he came over to like pick me up and take me down, he came inside my house, and Charlotte was making like this huge deal of everything, and she pulled out her camera again and was trying to provoke me, saying, oh, you're leaving me, blah blah blah. And I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And she tried to slam the door on me, and all I did was like put my arm out like this so she wouldn't nail me with the door, and then she falls back while recording, and it blatantly just like, if she was to post that, it would just be obvious that I didn't do anything at all, because she was coming at me. She was trying to attack me. Anyway, she falls on the ground and she goes, you're going back to jail, I'm calling the cops, you. And like, I had my roommate to this day, he was there for that, and she was just trying to get any sort of thing she can against me to put me back in jail. And jail is a terrible place. I absolutely, like, I mean, everybody hates jail, but like, that place was not for me. I'm too cute for jail. And so I said, calm down, I'm leaving, blah blah blah. And that's when I got down here for that night, we were fine. That's where I was saying we were fine. Like, everything was okay. It seemed all mellow. And little did I know, she was like typing up a huge draft, ready to post this video. So I get that U-Haul and I go up there. And that's like, as soon as I grabbed all my stuff and that door closed behind me, that's when she releases the video. And I was like, what the hell? Okay. So she's like harassing me. I'm getting all these threats, blah, blah, blah. And I go and I get a restraining order on her because she is threatening me. Then when I successfully hire someone to deliver it, or whatever it's called, I can't remember right now. So they drop it off to her, and she posts about it online. She posts the restraining order, but she posted saying that she got a restraining order on me, which makes absolutely no sense. She must have been like high on Xanax or something, because people were started calling her out, and then she deleted it later. I was just trying to get her to stop talking about me. I got my lawyers and I got a lot of people involved to try to submerge the things that she was saying, because they were so harmful and causing me so many problems and practically ruined my life. That is pretty much the gist of it. It's just absolutely insane to see this person get so angry over a situation that you know, isn't what it is, and then have so much hate for me leaving her, and so much, like, I don't know, insecurities from it, that she feels the need to ruin my life. It literally ruined my life, and I'll talk about everything that happened, you know, at the aftermath in just a second. But I wanted to be clear that, like, I'm not out to get her. I've posted on my story, like, it sucks, you know, to be kicked when you're down, and I'm trying to stomp her out now because she did that to me. She kicked me when I was down multiple times, but fuck that. I'm not trying to do that anymore. It's just cancel culture altogether is so terrible and so abusive and harmful, and it's just something that, like, I don't want my worst enemy to have to go through this. And I'll talk a little more about that in just a second, but that was basically the whole story, was that just there was like so much to that day and so many emotions, and it doesn't justify me losing my actions, but I never hit this girl, and there's enough evidence to prove that she is blatantly lying about every single thing I did. She's saying, she posted things like, I just got out of this super abusive relationship. No, shut up, stop lying, Sophie. I never did anything remotely abusive to you. That could have been the only thing that would be considered abusive, was me damaging the property around us that I later on fixed. Hands down. I never even like cussed at you. I was always very submissive. When you would get mad, I would say, hey, what can I do to make you feel better? And you would be blowing up, like throwing things around, screaming in my face, telling me that I'm a horrible person, you don't care about me and stuff. So it's like, I should have taken all those red flags from your terrible behavior, and I should have left you the first day that I caught on to your shitty ass behavior. And I'm still mad at you. I will never forgive you for the things that you did. I've let go of it, and like, I mean, I guess I can forgive you, but it's going to take a lot. It would take something like you coming forward with the information the same way that Tessa did to Canyon. And that's something that, like, obviously is, like, very similar in a sense, but the only thing is that Tessa handled that situation a lot better than you did. And she came forward after realizing that she made a mistake while she was fucked up. But the thing is you're never sober, so I don't think that's ever going to happen. I'm really upset, and it really hurt, and you really ruined my life when you didn't need to put this to the internet. This was something that was between me and you, and that's something that completely ruined my career, and I hope you feel bad for it. I hope that you are being eaten alive by guilt, and that you at one point in time can come forward and tell people the truth. I think that's what we all want. We're all waiting for it, and that would be a great outcome and a great way for you to responsibly handle your own mistakes as I'm handling my own. I'm not asking anyone to attack you. I've said some damaging things to you, and I'm sorry that I, am in the position that I am in, but you brought this on yourself, and that's not my fault.
Boom. Roasted.
I'm angry, and I have a lot of emotions toward this because you completely ruined me. So I think that anything that gets brought onto you from this is completely deserved. And I'm not asking anyone to hurt you or to come at you or to cancel you, because you're doing it all yourself. You're turning all your friends against you, and you're ruining your own life. So I don't need to do that. But I will share my side of the story, because you shared way more sides of many stories that never added up. You made up so many lies, and everything that you did didn't make sense.
Boom. Roasted.
Let's not forget that you crashed your car on Xanax and had another ex previously, like, basically tell everybody that what I did was, like, that the statements that you were saying were false.
Boom. Roasted.
Anyways, I'm going to cut this clip now. I think I've talked enough about what has happened. I'm going to go on to a couple other things, and then we'll continue this.
Say this right now, literally what happened yesterday, Charlotte got mad at me because I didn't want to go to an acid party with her because she had been up for 4 days doing ketamine, meth, cocaine, fucking acid, everything. She had been awake for 4 fucking days, and then she told me that she was gonna punch herself in the face and call the cops, like, to get her ex out of her house because he wouldn't, like, she didn't want him there anymore all of a sudden. Like, when they had only been dating for 2 weeks. She just decided she didn't like him, so she said she was going to punch herself in the face so that he would get kicked out and, like, the cops would come. A psychotic person does that. Don't be fucking...
So, something that I kind of want to touch base on is, like, it's like the effects of what you did to me and how it canceled me and the damage that you created in my life. Not only did I get numerous amounts of death threats and people telling me to, just off myself and that I'm the worst person in the world and just really, really volatile and just absolutely absurd messages and just constant harassment. Not only did that happen to me, but it happened to my family too. Everybody in my family, my mom, my dad, my sister, they all got harassed. And that's so unfair because they did nothing to deserve this. They've only ever given me proper love, and they raised me really, really well. Like, they gave me a great upbringing. I moved out when I was 16 on my own terms. I caused all my own problems and my bad behavior. They never did anything that made me the way that I am. I'm adopted. I come from a really odd back family, and it's really unfortunate that my parents had to get involved in this. My mom was told that she raised a terrible son and that she, like, you know, should just off me, and all this crazy, just terrible stuff. And that's super damaging, and this is something, you know, that I'm never gonna forget. This is something that my family has to deal with, and it's just like, it needs to stop. Harassing other people's family members when they did something wrong is absolutely absurd. Now I want to talk about how it's affected my current relationship, because this is another thing that is kind of just like, it's just like, why? Like, Shelby knows who I am. She never questioned me about the video. She never, like, was concerned that I was an abusive person. We have a super healthy relationship. I'm finally with a girl who doesn't like to do drugs, who doesn't party, who doesn't go out of her way for extra attention from the internet. Like, she's confident in herself, and she doesn't need all this, like, attention that Sophie and Lily and Julian need from the internet. It's just like that she's a strong-hearted person. Okay, but it's not fair for the internet to attack her for dating me and be like, "Who, do you know that he's an abuser?" Because obviously, it's not like I'm keeping this a secret. It's not like that I'm trying to hide my past. It's just, these aren't true facts. So, like, people are like, "You shouldn't be with him, you shouldn't do this." It's not helping her. She already knows that people, like, might feel that way. She loves me and I love her, and we reciprocate really good emotions together. So, shut up. Shut the up. Stop messaging her like negative bullshit about me. It's just, it's absolutely insane, and it's not gonna work. We're together. Anyways, what else? Oh yeah, the same day that video went down, my bank account got hacked. That's kind of excessive. I don't really know how that happened. I don't know if she leaked personal information about me. She put my address online, which is super illegal, I'm pretty sure. I don't really know the legalities of that. But another thing is that when my bank account got hacked, I had some money drained that I never got back. I had to change my phone number, and people were emailing me like death threats too. It wasn't just on Instagram. It was like my phone number was getting blown up. I had to change my number, and that's why I don't have access to my Instagram right now, is because it was connected to my old phone number. And when I got my Instagram account back from Instagram, it's still connected to that old number, and all my recovery codes were on an old phone that I no longer have. So right now I don't have access to it, but they are giving me my 70K account back, and I should be able to get back into Shark Snacks as well at some point. It's just they're all connected to my old phone. So, like, this caused me a lot of problems. I've been working on art. Like, I draw, I do a bunch of stuff. Like, I drew this, you know, and just, that was annoying. It's affected my ability to get jobs, especially like tattoo apprenticeships. I have talked to a couple different shops down here in San Diego, and they're all go, "Oh, you're that Nick Plugs Your Holes abuser guy, huh? Well, we've seen you before. Get the out of here." That's pretty aggressive and hurtful, and it makes it hard for me to stay motivated to pursue a career that I'm trying to do. Especially that you knew that if I wasn't going to be a model anymore, that I wanted to be a tattoo artist, and you never really focused on art. You never really did any of that artistic stuff, and now I see you are trying to become a tattoo artist, and like, you can't do that while you're using drugs excessively. Like, you're gonna someone's body up really, really bad. And it just seems like everything you're doing is out of spite. You posted things like, "I stole Nick's girlfriend's ex, blah blah blah." Shut up. Shut the up. You guys are both exes. You're both crossed out for a reason. You can't steal someone who's crossed the out of my life. Another thing is there was a lot of hate on the XO. A lot of people were getting that covered or whatever, and I get it. I get you wouldn't want to wear that anymore with the name, because I totally understand why somebody would look at that video at first glance and be like, that guy, but there's so much more to it that it was really hurtful when you guys started talking shit on my face tattoo that I had gotten, you know, 50 to 100 other people to get. I never got them to, I never influenced them to, but they definitely saw that and was like, "Hey, that's kind of cool. That's something that I want to do too." And I feel super bad for anyone who has followed me in my footsteps and gotten that tattoo, who then later on had to feel like they needed to cover it up because they were supporting me. That's something that I really want to address. Another thing is a lot of the companies that I had worked with right before everything went down had gotten canceled too, which is just like, it's so up. They don't know what's going on in my personal life. So even if I was abusive, they shouldn't be canceled for working with me. They don't know what's behind the doors. Plugs your holes. People think I'm connected to that page. That's not true. I actually made my name completely separate to them. I just thought it was kind of a funny name. I never had seen it or heard of it. I made that name when I was like 16 years old on Instagram. That's not something that I copied. It's not something that I have anything to do with them. That was just, we both came up with like a silly name for, our brand or a company or a Instagram name, whatever. Apologies to Skunk Bags. They actually had witnessed Charlotte's abusive behavior. If for you who don't know, Sophie's real name, Sophie Saturn, Sophie Suicide, whatever the fuck her name is now, her real name is Charlotte Sophia Zlotkowski. And for those of you who don't know, we actually had shot with them in like late December, and she had hit the director's car with her car while she was driving drunk, and I was like, dude, you gotta stop drinking, and I was having to drive and do all this shit for her, and she couldn't handle herself, and basically, I don't really know how it happened, but she didn't want to shoot anymore because she was embarrassed for hitting their car. So she kept telling me, Nick, we're leaving. And I said, no, I want to get paid. I want to make this money, and I want to work with this company because I really like Skunk Bags. I really, really like the company. They're really genuine people. And I love their merchandise. And she literally, in front of everybody, almost ran me and a photographer over with her car. She was screaming, yelling. She was refusing to shoot. She was acting absolutely absurd, and it was completely unprofessional. I don't think she's ever had a professional shoot. She's not really a model. She doesn't really know what she's doing. I pretty much introduced her to that world and that side of everything. Yeah, she turned pink on her first Suicide Girl set, whatever. But she never really did any street stuff. She's never been published in magazines. And so she didn't really know how to act and how to carry herself in front of other people, especially under the influence of alcohol. So I just want to give a really big apology to Skunk Bags because you guys witnessed some of her shit-ass behavior firsthand and then got canceled for it when you guys didn't say anything about her. You guys could have canceled her, but you guys just remained silent because that's the professional thing to do. Just keep your problems to yourself. The internet doesn't need to know it. The people around you, personal people in your life, sure, but you don't need to tell the whole world. Nothing that you put on the internet that's a negative about someone else is going to benefit anyone, and it's just really sad to see how poorly my ex handled this situation and how much she's ruined her life since then. I think she can't stay sober. This is my legitimate thought on why she's struggling to stay sober. It's because she knows that she ruined my life when I didn't deserve to be ruined. She knows that she made up a whole bunch of shit about me. So she can't bear the fact that all this negative emotion that she brought onto my life has eaten me alive, that it's now eating her alive. I don't think that she can handle sobriety because she needs some sort of drug to take her mind off it or make her feel like she's not even alive. Doing a lot of talking here, guys. A lot of talking. Another thing that I wanted to bring to attention is there are a couple other females who have made, I wouldn't say false statements about me. I would say that they are, Tiger Lily is an exception. She kept calling me an abuser when there was nothing in our relationship that we had together that was abusive. We never even fully dated from my recollection. She says differently, but she's in a married, committed relationship, and even though they're poly, I didn't expect her to get emotionally involved with me ever. And something that I probably have an issue with is wanting to make everybody feel good about themselves, and it's hard for me to be, I don't know how to say it, honest with my negative emotions. If I'm not feeling something, it's hard for me to tell someone that I'm not feeling it. And so maybe that could have led some of these girls on, but I've never emotionally or physically abused these girls. I've just probably not been upfront with the emotions that I've needed to be, and I've worked on that and I've gotten better, and I'm way better at talking about the way I'm feeling. I really hate hurting people. I really hate seeing people upset. It gives me a lot of anxiety and uncomfort, and it makes me feel guilty. And something I learned is by not being upfront with my emotions, it only causes people more pain. So if I've hurt you guys, I am really genuinely sorry that anyone who has been involved with me, if they felt like I've led you on, then I'm super sorry. I never did it to use you or to get with you or anything like that. It was just something that, like, I love to give love. That's just who I am. But Tiger Lily has just many times said that I was abusive and then gone back on her word recently when she realized that the claims weren't true. She had said that she had been abused by me at one point, later on to say that she hadn't been abused by me at one point. That's something that needs to be addressed. Just because it's up to see like the suicide girl community come together just to ruin me when truthfully, I think that they're just upset that I didn't reciprocate the same emotions back that they wanted. I really, that's truly how I feel, is that these girls are jealous or just pissed off at me because of whatever reason, and now they're just willing to throw away anything that I have and worked hard for to get their daily fix of attention. Like, it's absolutely up. And this isn't the only thing that Tiger Lily has done. She's actually like hurt my friends too. She's made false accusations. She's made rape accusations about my friends who have never done anything, and have actually had those girls who have come out with the truth. Like the girls who said originally that they were raped by this person has later come out to say that that is false. And Tiger Lily, who has absolutely nothing to do with it, has put these people on blast, has absolutely like torn them to shreds for absolutely no reason, and it's f***ed up what she does. And then she plays the victim and acts innocent and cries on her Instagram for attention, and it's just she needs to be put to rest on her voice, because it's not helping anybody. And if something doesn't involve you specifically, then just shut the up and just deal with it. Just don't talk about it on the internet, because you don't know the full story. You don't really know what happened. And I think that's a valuable lesson that everybody should take from this. There's a couple other people who I want to address. Julian Green. The things he said about me are beyond me. I actually was surprised to even think that he was capable of making up some shit that's so stupid that he later on deleted because he realized he looked like a complete dumbass. I feel like I've always kind of carried that kid. I feel like I've always done a lot for him. I've always been the one taking his photos, editing our vlogs that we were doing for a while, and I always felt like he took advantage of me and used me, and he really proved that point when he took advantage of my downfall and used it for more clout and for more responses from the general public just to later on delete it. He said some shit like, I know I'm a pacifist, but I'll put down my pacifism if I ever see this kid and beat his ass. And like, dude, just shut the f*** up. You literally came and stayed with me and Sophie, and you saw how crazy she was. You knew that what you were doing was just gonna throw me under the bus, and you must have had some sort of resentments or just jealousy that I was always one step ahead of you in life. And like, it's fucked up, man. It's pretty fucked up what you did, and I think that this needs to be talked about, because people will do whatever they can to put others down so they can be on top of them. And you're a perfect example of this, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you're so like low in life and insecure with yourself, and that's shitty, dude. I get it. I get it. Another thing is a lot of people kind of question me as why I'm friends with Canyon, and that's something that I want to address, is because Canyon let me talk. Unlike these girls who just want to damage me, even though Canyon did some damaging things and said a lot of things and made pages about me that were against me, he let me voice my opinion and talk to him, and we made amends that way. And that's why I'm not like there bashing him, because me and him are okay and we're on actually pretty good terms. And I was there for him when everything that Tessa had said went down about him, because I knew the exact same position that he was in, because I had just gone through it. And so I think that gave him a really good understanding of what it's like. And I know that's not the first time he's been there, but it's just that's something that like I respect from Canyon over these girls, is that he let me talk, he let me give him my side of the story, and then he stopped everything. He didn't do anything more. Like, we don't have beef, there's nothing between us, there's no bad energy. And if these girls want to come forward and apologize to me, because I deserve an apology for all of this bullshit that they've brought on me, then I will gladly make amends with them and move forward. I don't want a friendship with any of these girls, I don't want them to be in my life, but I would like to squash the negative energy, because everything that's happened to me from this is pretty f***ing unfair, and I think you guys could agree with me at this point. I just think cancel culture altogether is just extremely toxic, and there's nothing that good that comes from it. There's a couple examples, you know, like someone like 6ix9ine, who's like the biggest shit talker in the game right now. You know, yeah, he makes music, so that puts him in like another popularity level, but like also like a lot of people have come forward with some stuff he's done, you know, where he's like alleged molester or whatever, like, in just like the amounts of people he pisses off. He's also the one who has the most Instagram views in history. You know, he's like he's blowing up, and he's making millions and millions of dollars from just being a person and getting himself canceled, because it works. Cancel culture doesn't really cancel people, it just puts light and gives them more exposure. Think of people who like Louis C.K., who's a piece of like terrible person, you know, indecently exposed himself to a lot of women, and he's still selling out shows. It's just a prime example of why canceling people doesn't really work, because unless you're like Jeffrey Epstein and doing some that's like beyond comprehensibly f***ed up, or like Harvey Weinstein, like you're not gonna get canceled. It's only gonna actually help your career. So I think it really just needs to stop, because a lot of people don't know the full situations, and a lot of people don't really know what's going on, and somebody can take one little thing and make it the biggest deal in the whole world, and the internet is so aggressive, and everybody wants to be mad. If the truth, you know, is out on the table, no one's gonna pay attention to it, because it's not exciting. People want juicy gossip and just drama. That's something we need to change. We need to stop getting so worked up over things we know nothing about. We need to stop attacking people that we don't know. We need to stop just all the harassment altogether, and we need to just conform and start caring about one another, because it's serious. Like, I was depressed, and I was like, I'm not saying that I was ever gonna hurt myself, but yeah, like when you have enough people telling you to kill yourself, you're like, damn, it's pretty up. Like, do I really not deserve to be on this planet? Like, what is going on? Like, I don't know, guys. I just want it to all stop. I don't think that we should cancel anybody. I'm not trying to cancel Sophie. I'm not trying to cancel Lily. I just want these girls to realize what they're doing is really petty and unfair and harmful, and it needs to stop, guys. Grow up. Just live your life. There's way more things going on in this world than one kid who could have potentially abused someone. There's people who go through abuse, serious abuse every single day, serious domestic violence abuse, and I broke a couple of my things, yeah, but if you saw like the reality of the world that's not on camera all the time, it's a lot darker than what you guys saw in that video. Almost done here. I remained silent for so long just because I knew that these girls would dig their own grave and the truth would come out eventually. I'm sorry that it took so long for me to make a statement. I hope that my career is not completely ruined. I hope that you guys can come to forgive me for my actions, and I hope that I can move forward from this and have my life back again. I really love modeling, and I love being a creator and creating content, and I love pretty much everything that the community has to offer me, and like I love being able to make other people happy by making them look good with photos, or getting a good shot with the creator and making some cool art. You know, it feels really good, and it's something that I would love to be able to do again. And I don't really care about Instagram like that. I don't really care about the following. Obviously it's nice to have that kind of like support and you know, fan base in a sense, but it's not something that, you know, makes me a different person from anyone else, and I really realized that, because since I was 18, that's when I started to like get a following, and it's kind of like all I've known since I've been an adult. So this was like a really eye-opening experience. I'm really glad this happened, because it's kind of shaped me to be a better person. I never really lost any of my close friends. There's like a couple people who were really questioning me and you know, upset about what I did, which is fair. but I never lost anybody that really knew who Nick was. I'm not Nick Plugs Your Holes anymore. If I get that Instagram account back open, which I will at some point, I took out my plugs. It's not who I am anymore. I'm not that. I want to move forward and find like a new persona, identity, whatever you want to call it. All in all, I just hope that you guys can forgive me and that you guys can see that I'm not a harmful abuser. All these words really, really hurt me, guys, and I'm so sorry for all the drama. I'm sorry for the things that I said that were negative about these people. I am sorry that there was a lot of people affected by this, and I'm just trying to move forward, guys. I'm trying to live a better life. I think we've taken a lot of attention off the Black Lives Movement, and I think we should all go back to like influencing that and posting about that, because there's still protests going on and there's still people who are getting hurt and black people who are getting affected by cops every single day. Not even just cops, but just like racist white people. And I don't think that all this attention should be brought on me. I think we should be facing the fact that there's a huge global pandemic. Racism is the real virus, and we should be all very concerned about all the things that are going on. And I want you guys to all know that I am deeply sorry, and I'm actively trying to be sober and motivate others around me to not harm others. So please, don't go and attack these people for making false accusations about me. I apologize for the mean things that I said. I'm not trying to be a mean person. I am angry. I am furious. These people ruined my life, and I feel like everything that I said is pretty justified at this point in time. And I would just like you guys to know who I am as a person. If you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. I will address absolutely everything. I'll probably be making a second video just so I can get anything that I missed back out on the table. For now, guys, that's really all I have to say. I appreciate anyone who's watched this whole video through, hear me out. I'm probably have repeated myself a couple times by now, but I just want you guys to know who I am. I love all the support I get from you guys. I'm not upset at anyone who saw that video and was upset at me in first and said some bad things about me. I will totally gladly talk to you and accept an apology, or just whatever. If you feel like you owe me an apology, I would love to hear it, and I would love to reciprocate it, and I would love to let you know that it is okay, because I would have done the exact same thing. I am guilty of canceling people prior to this. I'm guilty of making false accusations about people, not intentionally ever, just due to things that I gathered from the internet and then blowing up on people. It's just unhealthy, and it's not something that we should do anymore. So I hope you guys have a great day. I care about all of you, and this is something that I'm super shameful that I ever had to make. I never thought I was gonna have to make a explanation video, and this isn't an apology video. I'm not really sorry for any of this, to be honest. I'm sorry for what I did and the way it affected people, but I'm not sorry for what has happened now. Anyways, stay safe, guys. That's really all I got. I might add some more in here at the end, but for now, stay blessed, stay safe.
Boom. Roasted.